Hello folks, Simulation Full Nation here, and welcome to a mod review or a highlight review of some of the mods that have been dropping recently on the ModHub. Now, we do see a little bit of sporadic updates on the ModHub there of late, and that's fine, and it means that we do get to see larger drops coming at any one time. And yesterday being one of those days, we saw a plethora of machines and scripts alike. So we're going to look into some of the machines today. Some of the scripts are really good as well. Some of them are just like slight little updates since the patch 1.4 came out, so nothing too new there. But we're going to start with what you can see in front of us here. There is a range of really good machines that add quite a lot to the game, and really nice to see them. We're going to start with a big green combine in the middle of the S700 series John Deere by JHHG Modding. There are two different versions. You got this version right here, and then the slightly bigger North American version over there as well. But yeah, really nicely made mods. We've seen these before in different versions of the game, but what's really quite impressive about this is when you come on into the store to have a look at them. There's so many different configurable options, and you can get lost in the amount of different options you can choose through there, from wheels setups and configurations to geographic setups and locations, grain tank extensions, engine sizes, production years, and the list goes on and on. And everyone does have quite a nice little noticeable difference there, so really cool to see that actually. Some of the wheel setups are absolutely wild, and I do like it an awful lot. But you can configure and you can twist and play around to your heart's content. But very well made machines, very well modeled, looks fantastic. As we come on into the cab here as well and start her up. Really authentic sounds, everything is just awesome, frankly. Now as we see, and as you can see, they just look ginormous and so intimidating there, but yeah, very nicely made. So really nice to see this coming on into game. Similarly for the Brute over here as well, exactly the same configuration, same. You can obviously change the bin lids and the style of the hoppers to suit the game that you're trying to build and create there as well. But really nice to see, and it's available across all platforms as well, so you can go and download it on consoles too. Staying in the harvester mode as well, we're going to look into a root crop harvester now. Coming on over to the DeWolf Quattro. Now, I don't typically do too many hired contracts at the moment with things like carrots, parsnips, and the likes, because the harvesters themselves wouldn't have a hopper, so you'd be having to have a hired worker on it all the time, and you'd be bringing the, brings in a few extra complications. But this DeWolf harvester is pretty cool. It's again another well-made harvester. It looks fantastic there, and it also gives you the option to have a little bit of a hopper in there as well. So it makes the possibility of a hired worker or root crop harvest that bit more practical, I would say. Really nice looking machine. Again, with harvesters like this, there's so many options for animations. I think they all look superb. So when you start this one up and away, look at all the belts moving. Look at everything ticking on through there. It looks great. Right down to the front where you've got the I guess like the chopper to remove the foliage. The belt's going all the way through, and the load belt's all the way up into the auger as well. So that is all fantastic. Really like to see that. And you've also got a little bit of elevation as well on the axles. I don't know quite why you would need that. There must be a reason for it. Perhaps if it's to load onto a wagon, maybe. But you can lift and rear and loads on the mouse control. Once again, this beast is available on all platforms too, so console players can jump on in and get involved with it as well. But yeah, really nice looking machine. It's going to be for all your vegetable needs as well there, so it can be a bit more diverse as we jump on side it. Now, I was recently complaining about the lack of JCBs in-game, and Ross and Mods has figured out a way to resolve that with the Icon 4220 JCB Fast Track. This is available for all platforms too, and again, it's the 4220 Fast Track is something that we've seen in different games for a while there, but what's really interesting and what's really good about this model is, again, configurations. First of all, check out the beacon bar on the top. Really like that one. We've got some air horns to give yourself a little bit of a meaty horn on there as well, but you can configure the beacons, the markers, so like the warning markers on the side, engine configurations, colors configurations as well. So when we jump on into the store, I will show you. There's also obviously your tire options and the likes, but plenty to choose to. Look at all those different configs as well. So that's really nice to see. Nice machine. Really nice to have a fast track back in game here. Inside, you got the Icon cab, which is obviously a little bit different there to see. The screen looks fantastic there, actually. All the configs on the dashboard also look very, very good, very handy to use. As you can see as well, what I always like to see when you're looking inside the cab here is what do the animations look like. And right now we have got animations for your indicators, which is always good to know. Your pedals and your joysticks are working, and then on the side here, when you turn on things like your lights, for example, the dashboards all light up and all the switches move too, which is awesome. And so yeah, it's a really really nice tractor to have here, and it's just, I don't know, it's nice to have a fast track back in game. They're very very versatile tractors, and I just like the fact that this has the icon dashboard in there too. So a really, really good thing to see. Turn it off. Key animations in there too as well. It's an expensive tractor though. It's about £218,000 dollars or euros to buy. Maximum horsepower is about 230, so plenty of power in there for what you need. But a really nice tractor. Speaking of nice tractors, we're going to go for some big power here. The Fendt 900 Aveiro S4. This is by LS Agrar Oli. I hope I pronounced that properly. It's across all platforms once again. A beautiful Fendt. Lots of big power into here, from 305 all the way to 396 horsepower. Big old brute. But this is a particular favorite model of mine. Always like seeing this in other versions of the game, and it's just very nicely made. So it is again available on all platforms there. Has a lot of different configurations available, and particularly when it comes down to the tires. But yeah, just a nice machine to have here with some good power in it, and something to say I really do like about the slightly older Fendt. Really, really nice indeed. When we come on in, you can look into the large tractor category. You can go all the way down to the bottom, find your mods, and look at those, all those different options there. The Black Beauty does look superb. Really, really does. And then, of course, you can change the different tire types, wheel setups there, beacon configs. You can also put it into the Black Beauty mode, or the Profi Plus, or the power specification. And when you change that, obviously, you'll see the changes coming inside the cab with the different monitors and the likes. Design line will change the trim on the outside, which is always very nice. And then, of course, engine spec, different configurations there. Quick machine, powerful machine, really good top-of-the-line tractor there. Now, it's never cheap. Fendts are never cheap. They start at 272,000 and will go up from there, obviously. And on the back of it, you are looking at the MGP Cultivator Subsoiler by SMI Modern. One of their first updates, or I think a second or third update to FS25. Nice and wide machine here, which will work at depth in normal conditions. It does need a lot of power, hence the reasons on the front here. Minimum power for the smaller model of this is around 160 horsepower. And it starts at the 4 meter and goes all the way up to 6. So you do need quite a bit of power in there. Little bit of configuration available, but with SMI, what you always need to look out for is the detail and the attention to detail on things like the hoses, the different pins and bolts are across all of the models in question, and just the real attention to detail. This is another fantastic example of that. Just things like that split pin there, for example, and the threads on the bolts are just all superb. Really, really nice indeed, and it suits the Fendt quite nicely here, I do think. Now, again, that is available across all platforms too, so you can get that one onto your farm and get it used quickly. But yeah, very nice addition. There's also been a lot of updates of silage compactors and the likes, and leveling tools. One by Dutch Modern and several by HT Modern, the likes of which you're seeing on the fast track here. So you've got the leveling blade on the front and the packer roller on the back as well. I'm not too big on these. I don't use them an awful lot, but it's nice to have there. And for those people who are on the clamps a lot, I'm sure it's very, very beneficial to do that. But yeah, really nice to have those in there, a little bit more variety to use. You've also got the Hilaris Jumbo, which is not here at the moment on display, but again, a similar design for for leveling and distributing clamp work. And again, available across all platforms. Really nice to have available there for all of your silaging needs. And speaking of silaging needs, over here we have the Fendt 700 Vario by LS Agrar as well. This was also converted through and is another fine example of the beautiful Fendts. This one is in the fantastic Black Beauty. This is all the same kind of configurations as we looked at just over here for the 900 Vario, but just a really nice machine to have in again. It's a bit less power, a bit less expense, but still very versatile. Starts at 150 horsepower for 162,000 pounds, goes all the way through to 246. So can really cover a lot of that market that you're looking for. Configurations are very similar as the Vario over there. For color configurations, you've got wheels and the likes of the trim inside of it too. On the back of it is a Flegel trailer, the Cargo 750. There's a 760 available as well, which is the triaxle. This is the double axle. Available for all platforms here. These are ideal trailers for all of your silaging needs, really. And they are, well, ginormous. Absolutely huge. There's a chopper on the back. Open up that door and out she comes. So rolling floor on the bottom there, so no tipper. So depending upon where you are looking to go, it's a very nice option to have. It has a huge capacity for the 750 in front of us here. You're looking at 44,500 litres. For the larger model, the triaxle 760, looking at 51,000 litres inside there. So especially when you're working on forage work, that is huge. Really, really nice. They're a very nice looking model. They have fantastic dirt textures on there as well, so you really be able to get to see those used across the maps as you're working. But yeah, very nice machines to have on there. A lot of detail. I love seeing the detail on the hydraulic rams for the height control at the top. Specifically useful when you're coming to tip, so you can lower the front end, raise the back end to get it a little bit easier. But yeah, definitely something to go and check out there. Really nice to see those coming through. And the final model we're going to look into today is a bit of an old firm favorite for many a user. It is the Culti Plow by Black Sheep Modding. Now, this is a subsoiler. It has the plow function, and what that will allow you to do is cover large areas of ground, especially when you're turning normal grassland into arable fields. You can cover so much ground with this so quickly that it doesn't make sense not to use it. It's huge. It comes in 6 meter, 9 meter, and 12 meter configurations. The larger model does require a horsepower of around 260. It's cheap comparatively to your standard plows as well, coming in at only £17,000 there, and just means that you can cover so much ground. You will be able to get plowing contracts done in a heartbeat. You'll be able to transform, if you're working on a map like the Final Frontier, you'll be able to transform that into arable fields in an instance as well. Really, really worthwhile. The larger models are huge. I know a lot of people really do like them to cover ground. And they are almost a bit of a cheat code, really. And it's been converted through, so Black Sheep Modding has got it through into game. Available for all consoles, for all platforms there too. And so that's it, really. That's just the summary of some of the highlights of the mods. I'm still trying to learn when and how Giants are updating the ModHub. It seems to be a bit sporadic, and seems to be later in the day than previously thought. But the mods are coming out now. We're starting to see them trickle through there, which is great. There'll be a lot more updates coming through as of the results of having patch 1.4 out. So we'll see what that looks like. But if you have any questions about any of the mods here, please do leave a link down below. If you've enjoyed this video, though, please do consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing for more. I've been Simulation for the Nation, and we'll see you all in the next one.